She's wildin'. Oh, hold up. We are back again with more hiking. This is probably the most hiking I've done in a long time, and I'm not mad about it. I enjoy going out in nature and just getting that peace that I crave so much. We're at a new park today. I've never been here. I'm just gonna put it up here because I don't know how to pronounce it at all. I can tell you from the start that it's much more populated than I thought and has more to offer. As always, do not forget to subscribe so that we can hang out more. Duh. Before we begin, I wanted to express something important that I figured out. Sometimes, depending on the state park, they will ask you for a car ticket that usually costs a few bucks depending on the state. And I figured out in New York, they make you pay typically more average than I thought. So far, when I've gone to other state parks in other states, it's been more in between $3, $5, whereas here for the state park and other ones that I was looking into, it's $9. Yeah, I did not know that. So that's why I am sharing it with you, just in case if you ever want to come up and explore here, now you know. And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm low-key dying. Thank you for asking. If you don't know, before this, I explored Ithaca, New York, and then right after that, I went to a wedding, and I'm just a little bit tired. So if I seem a little bit off during our exploration together, now you know. And if you're curious about my time in Ithaca, feel free to check out, feel free to check out up here. Anyway, look at this pretty lighthouse that I found. It's a little bit farther out, right there on that corner, that little white dot. I'll get a closer look for you. See, look how cute. Kind of wish I had a way over there, because it would be really cool to see that up and close. Are you kidding me? Not even 15 minutes in. Hold on. I came prepared this time so that I wouldn't die. If you haven't seen my other hiking vlogs, I just want to explain that I'm known to get a lot of bug bites, and it can get bad depending on the environment that I'm in. It especially got bad when I was down in Florida. I recently went a couple months ago with my friends, and I got bitten alive. And after that, and a couple times even hiking, I've learned my lesson now. I have to just bring a bucket of spray. Lifesaver. First things first, we are going to a gorge trail. I think it's about 2 miles, and I'm hoping to see the infamous falls that everyone talks about. I'm just not sure if this is the trail. If not, then we're gonna see something else, I guess. Here we are, let's go. My feet are dying because I forgot to bring band-aids for my heels, and now they're blistering. I've been wanting to check out this state park for a few years. I remember finding it on Pinterest first and making sure to remind myself this one spot is somewhere I want to go, and I'm happy I'm able to achieve this for myself. My first impression is the gorge trail is family friendly and beginner. I've been going on moderate severe hikes where they make you work your thighs and you slowly get set into orbit with no return. Since I've gotten accustomed to that, this was a breeze. It's like a nice long walk with no hills. Flat surface unless you decide to go down into the gorge where the water is. I probably didn't need to wear my hiking boots, but I'd rather be safe than screw up my flat feet more than they already are. I could not get over how open this gorge was. I don't think I've ever been to a gorge now that I think about it. For some reason, I thought they were narrow. As soon as I went around this bend, I had to take a moment of silence because this waterfall is breathtaking. I cannot begin to express how beautiful this is up close. When I was looking this up online, the falls looked smaller, but I was dead wrong, dude. It is so tall. It's something ridiculous, like over 200 feet or something like that. Now that I see it in person, I am not surprised because listen, I would never swim or jump over this waterfall. It's actually intimidating. Can you imagine someone trying to go over this waterfall in a barrel? No. As I was walking around, I casually looked up into the gorge and I saw either falcons or vultures. I did not know they lived here, or maybe they're visiting. Not sure if that's a thing. They added ambiance to the place, I can tell you that much. On my way back, I'm seeing across the bridge here that there's an overlook, and I want to go to there next. I've been wanting to see that fall for a couple of years now, so getting to see that in real life was unbelievable. It's just so magical to see that up close and personal. Pictures never do justice. It was much more crowded than I expected. I don't know why. I just didn't think that it was going to be crowded. I mean, I'm here on a weekend, and also we're going to close of summer per se, and people are going back to school. I just didn't clearly think that through. Two of the biggest warnings that I've seen around here is falling rocks and swimming is prohibited. It's more shallow than you think, and there's more rocks than you think too. So both are extremely valid, but you and I know people. People are still gonna try both. Down we go. I want a new scenery. I'm feeling so thankful that we have gorgeous weather today. I would never come here if it was raining because I'm not about to slip on my butt. I already do that enough. I don't need that along with this rocky terrain. Something that I am curious about is how it's wet but also dry. I just want to know how that happened because a lot of times I don't see this type of terrain where people can just walk through. I want to feel how cold the water is. Oh, that's not bad at all. I was expecting way colder. We have to go up because the next area is too much water and I don't think my boots would be able to make it. So I'm gonna go back up quick and maybe we can go back down in the gorge. Up we go. Chugging it, yeah. Back here we are. I am quite impressed with myself because I am still killing it with all the walking after wearing high heel shoes all yesterday. Gill me.
Yes, queen.
Remember those birds that were over the falls? I finally figured out what they're called. There was a little history lesson back there. I think it's pronounced peregrine falcons. If I said that wrong, I am so sorry. They are apparently the fastest animal on the planet, going up to 200 miles per hour. Can you imagine having that ability? That would be, I would feel so cool. They apparently were on the endangered species list for a while. Yeah, but thankfully, I think it said early 2000s they got off of it. And now they're here at the falls just hanging out, living their best lives. And I love that for them. I'm taking a little break right now because I came to the discovery that my blisters on my heels are indeed bleeding, which is so much fun. I can't stop thinking about how from the early 2000s until I think 2020, the falcons didn't come back to the falls. And I just keep thinking about the one bird who decided to go back to the falls. Hey Daniel, listen, I'm thinking about going back to the falls. What do you mean you're going back to the falls? Like,
bruh,
we went extinct there. Why would you do that? I think it's just time to go back to where we were and just start fresh. Well, I'm not going. I didn't ask you to. And then the bird decides just to fly to the falls, discovers that she's pregnant, lays eggs at the falls, and starts a whole new line of falcons at the falls. This is where my brain goes. It's interesting. Sometimes I think animals are like us. They had to have these type of conversations just in their language.
bruh.
I don't know. Maybe this is just a SARE thing. It probably is. I want to go to that overlook. I'm just not sure if I want to drive or I could walk. I'm seeing people go over the bridge, which probably means that I can walk. I just don't know if I want to take all that time to do that because I still want to go to another location if I can. I decided to drive. I didn't want to go up all the hills. I'm too tired for that. Let's go see this overlook together. As I predicted, this was a great idea. The crowd at the overlook wasn't bad. I had to wait a few minutes before getting up front to see the falls, but I wasn't in anybody's personal business. I was able to hang there for a while and not get annoyed by the people around me and was accidentally nosy by listening to their conversations. It was relaxing and it shows just how big the gorge is. You're likely
to see the birds way better up here compared to being down below too. Yes, they are intimidating up here.
I have to tell you what I overheard when I was at the overlook. There were these two guys that were standing close to me, and they were talking. The one guy was saying that he was still upset with his friend because this friend, he was in a gorge. I'm not sure if it was this one or if it was another one. Didn't catch the name. His friend drank too much liquids and was not fully there cognitively, and he ended up drowning. Yeah, that is something that I never thought through because I don't know, I've just never experienced it and I've never heard much about it. But there has to be incidents of that are pretty common, unfortunately. And that just really opened up my brain a little bit to the idea that unfortunately those things happen. That was a conversation that I was not expecting to happen. And then the other part was they were talking about the birds and they said, oh yeah, the vultures really make the scene of this waterfall. And I go, oh, these are vultures? I thought these were the falcons that I was talking about earlier. Or maybe they're both. I don't know anymore. After that, I think I'm gonna head to my next location. I've been here for a couple hours and I would really like to get to, I believe it's called Buttermilk Falls? Yeah, I wanna go there. We do have to drive there. It's not terrible, but we do have to get going if we wanna make it. We made it to Buttermilk Falls and I needed to give a little update about the ticket. I thought you had to go into each state park and pay $9, but actually, if you pay at one with $9, then you can go to the rest of them for free. So I just got into this one without paying, and that is a really solid deal. That makes me so much happier because I do want to come up here more. I just feel like I didn't have enough time to fully explore this area and get to go to every place that I wanted to go. I especially want to go to the Robert T. Herman State Park. I just figured out it's literally right down the road from this one. So I think what people do is they go to both in the same day to do swimming holes, which I did not know about either. But I do eventually want to go to the Robert T. Herman one and swim there. That's a place that I've always wanted to swim at. So that can be for another time. Right now, I'm gonna go explore the falls and check these out. I just had to tell you though because that got me so excited. Here she is. Let's get a closer look.
Buttermilk is not the same as our previous location. The main swimming hole is shown immediately. Then you're going right on up the steep trail. Listen, I was not prepared for how this was going to go. Since I had the easy breezy walkthrough earlier, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this will be fine. No. Hadn't even walked a mile, and my thighs were slowly disintegrating as I walked into this moderate, almost severe hike. Now, I am happy I wore my good hiking boots. As I was walking up, dude, I saw this group of girls in cardboard sandals, the ones from Route 21, like girlies. Why are you doing this to yourself? Don't get me wrong, I don't regret choosing this trail, I just wasn't prepared. And I wasn't the only one either. A few people asked me while I was hiking if I knew how long the trail was, how much longer it was going to be, where the trail kept going, and if it was steep as I kept walking. I did not have all of the answers and told them the best of what I knew. It was tricky because at a few points the trail would even out, then you would turn around and boom, and another set of stairs. Like, come on. It just never ended. I will say at the points that did even out, you could walk over and see multiple beautiful waterfalls and water holes. I tried my best to capture as many as I could for you, but it was a challenge because as you went up, there was a metal fence or railing, if you want to call it, on the edges of the gorge, so no one fell in. I kept thinking about that most likely there wasn't one when the state park was first founded, and well, yeah, I'm gonna let you connect the dots. As I kept going, the trail got more beautiful, I will give it that, and there were more opportunities to swim. The water was shallow from what I saw, but it's always good to be safe and make sure you're with other people when going to swimming holes. There was a decent crowd and everyone was chill. A lot of people brought their pets too. I saw so many cute dogs. I was tempted to go into the water myself, but I knew I would have hated walking back in wet clothes, and I ended up changing my mind. This is one of those places that you're just gonna have to sit down and do your research in advance and learn about the trails and just the state park in general before you go, so you know what you're getting yourself into. I kind of wish I did that, because then I would have gone around this way differently, you know what I mean? And it's always good to be prepared.
I was not expecting... Oh, I have to focus for a minute. What I was trying to say is, I was not expecting this gorge just keep going and going and going uphill. I thought it was going to even out, and it did for a little bit, but it just keeps going. And I am not mentally prepared for that. I don't think I have it in me to keep going. So I'm turning around because I'm just too tired. I am realizing too that both of these parks that we went to today, woo, watch yourself, girl. They have concrete steps here, and some of them are a little bit wonky. Anyway, what I was trying to say is, both of these parks are definitely meant to be an all-day affair because there's so much to see and clearly a lot of swimming to do, which I definitely want to do. So it kind of seems like I definitely want to come back, do some more swimming holes, and maybe even camp here, because I saw that both locations have camping, but as you can imagine, they can get booked up easily, because I definitely want to see more. It's just a lot and I've run out of time. You can only do so much in a short amount of time. The way up here was brutal. I know that when I wake up tomorrow, my thighs are going to be sore and I'm going to need another shower. I just took one last night to get all the makeup off. Now I'm probably going to need another one because of all this BO. I've come to the realization that this is one of those trails where it's so much easier on the way down, but it feels like you went so much farther than you did on the way up because it's that steep. Kind of reminds me of Watkins Glen a little bit. If you never heard of that place, look it up. It's another state park that's steep, and I went there a couple of years back, and that knocked me out. We made it. We're back to ground level. I am exhausted, and I am officially heading out. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you as always. I had so much fun with you. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the tube, friend.